All right, guys, how's it going? If you are one of my regular viewers and you know what the Traitor Trent feature is about and how it works, there is a timestamp pinned in the comment section, which you can click on, which will skip the intro. If you're new to the channel, you must listen to this introduction first. You only have to listen to it once, and then you're good to go. So, don't caps lock me to death. The feature Traitor Trent is just a bit of a tongue-in-cheek name for a series where I am updating people as to what the Spanish media are saying about Trent, how his career is going post-Liverpool. So my regular viewers chose the name for this feature, right? They wanted to call it Traitor Trent. I was going to call it Trent Watch, right? But so what anyway, right? It's just a bit of fun, a bit of banter. But the actual videos, there's no malice in them or anything. This isn't about hating on Trent. This is about telling you what the media are saying. So if it's positive, I will tell you it's positive. If it's negative, I will tell you it's negative. It's not my opinions, all right? So the other thing is as well that I will say is that if you're not interested in Trent, now that he's not a Liverpool player, you don't need to tell us in the comment section because the video clearly is about Trent. It's in the title. So you can skip those videos. Some of us are genuinely interested to see how he does and whether it was the right move for him in his career. Now, many of my viewers want him to fail miserably. Many of my viewers want to see him do well because they say he gave us 20 years, etc., right? So all this feature is about is saying what's happening with Trent and how he's, how things are going, how he's been received and things like that. All right, so good. Let's move on. So the other thing is as well, you don't need to say to me, let it go, because I'm not really bothered what happens with Trent, to be honest with you. But I am interested to see how he does at Real Madrid and to see whether it was the right decision for him. Okay, so in today's marker, this is a very interesting article, right? A very interesting article. It's on page 2 and page 3, a double spread. And what you can't see over here, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. That's what she said. On this side here, do you see that? There's also a bit about Dean Huijsen, basically saying immediate impact by him. So you might be able to work out where this is going. So on page 3, if you like, there's this article about Huijsen. He's made an immediate impact. This is focusing on Trent, to be honest with you, and they're saying quite the opposite. And what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to read the bullet points to you as to basically what this article says, then a little bit of analysis of it, of what it all means, and then I'm going to read the full article to you so you can see the actual wording of it. But I'm doing it in that order so you can listen to the bullet points if you haven't got much time, just to get, a feel of what's being said, and then you can log off. But if you want to see everything, just keep watching. All right, so where should we start? We'll start with the bullet points. Well, first of all, the headline. I guess that's very important. The duel to come is the headline. That's what this says up here. Carvajal's recovery anticipates a tough battle for the starting right-back role. Trent's timidity in attack against the captain's hunger, right? Now, like I've said before, and I said this before he went to Real Madrid, Carvajal is a great player, all right? He's a great player. You would expect him to be the regular starter, if you like. What I've learned since following the Spanish football dailies for about a year now, and it was because of Trent, when all the speculation, we wanted to see what was being said in Madrid. What I've learned from following the Madrid-based media is that Carvajal is their god, all right? He's their best player. He's one of them. The Real Madrid fans absolutely idolize him. So that makes it a million times worse for Trent to start with, to be honest with you. Now, we'll come back to the article. I'm just going to give you the keynotes from it, what it says, right? Trent arrived with huge expectations, especially after Carvajal's injury and on a free transfer, and then in brackets, with 10 million euros added to have him ready for the Club World Cup. His Club World Cup performances showed timidity in attack, though he did register assists versus Juve and Dortmund and contributed on set pieces. Madrid fans expected more boldness, especially given Trent's Liverpool record of 92 assists in 345 games. Against Osasuna, which is the La Liga match from the other day, his first La Liga game, if you like. He again appeared too conservative, playing safe passes instead of creating advantages. And you will remember in my last Traitor Trent video, the press went in on him terribly. All of them, they really did. And I didn't think he had a terrible game, to be honest with you. I thought he didn't have an impressive game, I'll be honest. But I don't think he deserved the bashing that he got through the media. But there you go. This is what they're like. This is what these fuckers are like, and you know it, right? Xabi Alonso still made him the first choice right back in that game, starting ahead of Carvajal. Stats. Trent, 57 from 64 passes, right? So that's 89%, but 0 out of 4 long balls, right? Carvajal, in under 30 minutes, got 20 from 22 passes, which is a 91% success rate, and 2 out of 3 long balls. The battle for the right-back spot is now on, with Carvajal's return celebrated by the Bernabeu crowd. Now, it's interesting that the BBC said after that Osasuna game that when Trent went off, he got a standing ovation. He didn't. It was because Carvajal was coming on, and they absolutely love him. Now, Carvajal, post-match, the Osasuna game, said it was special to feel the fans' affection on his return, embraced the competition with Trent, calling it a great challenge that will make them both better, and was grateful for support during his 318-day absence and promises good performances and titles. Now, I've got Dave's take on this. You know, Dave is my AI assistant. I've been training for a year to study football articles, the journalists that write them, and the websites and newspapers that push them, right? And Dave said as follows: this piece is basically setting up the narrative. Trent versus Carvajal is a duel and the captain has the upper hand. The tone makes it clear Madrid media are already unimpressed. They call Trent timid, conservative, not daring enough. Basically the opposite of what they wanted when he arrived. Even though his passing numbers were acceptable, they immediately undercut it by showing Carvajal did better in less than half the minutes on the pitch. That's not an accident. It's Madrid media framing Trent as already second best. The article leans heavily on Carvajal's words about competition and his emotional comeback. It's Madrid PR 101, the loyal captain versus the flashy outsider who's not delivering. And this could be where Trent's up against it, really. This is what I'm trying to explain and show, you know, like with the media, the Madrid media. And I think that's a really, really good point by Dave there. It's the loyal captain, you know, the ones that the fans love, right? Versus the flashy outsider. He's not one of us, he's English, he's whatever. Not saying there's any racism or anything like that, but I do think English players are up against it, you know. It's a bit obvious, isn't it, really? Anyway, when I talk about racism, I'm talking about, you know, him being, you know, a non-Spaniard, you know, English kind of thing. This is Madrid and whatnot. So just want to be clear what I'm saying there. Is Trent under pressure? Absolutely. After just one league game, the Madrid press are openly questioning him, highlighting his lack of attacking spark and comparing him unfavourably with Carvajal. Is it fair? From a neutral perspective, maybe not. It's one game in a low block context, and Trent is still adapting. But Madrid media aren't neutral. They're ruthless. And if you don't shine immediately, they'll turn on you fast. They're doing to Trent what they've done to countless players before him, and it shows they're not fans of his style already. Bottom line, the pressure is very real. Carvajal's return has been celebrated like a hero's comeback, while Trent's Madrid story is already being painted as underwhelming. Right? Now, before I read the article to you, this one is obviously not very nice towards Trent. You know, they're not bigging him up at all. The other one was on page 3, which you can't see on the camera now, it's just off screen, was Huijsen immediate impact. And that one said the young centre-back impresses in his debut at the Bernabeu. The Spanish centre-back is the dream of a future that's already beginning to take shape. At just 20 years old, he steps onto the pitch with a maturity belittles his years. With a maturity that belittles his years. He transmits calmness with the ball at his feet, commands from the back, and above all, plays with the conviction that he's going to leave his mark at the Bernabeu. So you can see how the difference in it, you know what I mean? And, you know, this is a Spain international, Huijsen, you know, who's always wanted to play for Madrid, and he is a very good player, as you know. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that the front page was dedicated to Huijsen today as well. So anyway, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to take a look at the article. I'm going to go through it, the full translation, okay? And then so you can see if what I've said in the bullet notes and the summary there from Dave is genuine, is fair, right? So Trent Alexander-Arnold arrived at Real Madrid surrounded by huge expectations. After Carvajal's serious injury, there were few more attractive options on the right-back market than the former Liverpool man. With one added advantage, the Red Academy product arrived on a free transfer after his contract expired with his previous club, although as is well known, such operations always imply economic compensation for the player, signing-on fee. In Trent's case, an additional amount, which in England was valued at 10 million euros. Have you noticed that? I've mentioned that to you a few times. They'll say, well, English, they reckon it was 10 million, but we didn't pay that much. That's what they're inferring there. 10 million pounds was added so that Madrid could have the player for the Club World Cup, as Carvajal was not yet fully ready. The tournament in the United States brought both highs and lows for the English international, who showed himself excessively timid in attacking situations where more was expected of him. Despite this, he displayed his quality with crosses, assist to Gonzalo and Fran against Juve and Dortmund, and his importance on set pieces. In any case, Madrid-ismo expected more from Trent. After all, the most seasoned of Madrid's 4 new signings for the season, and, alongside Huijsen, one of the new faces at the Club World Cup. Above all, considering his track record with Liverpool, a club where he won everything and was always a key piece, with 92 assists in 345 matches. Surely for that reason, Madrid fans expected a bolder, less withdrawn Trent. This is what they were saying about his La Liga game the other night, withdrawn, looking like he weren't bothered kind of thing. It's true, he shines more with space than in context, like the Osasuna match, with the opponent entrenched in a low block and 9 players defending. Even so, Trent reached dangerous areas many times, but his decisions were almost always conservative, with safe passes that didn't seek to generate advantages. Despite everything, Trent was Xabi's first choice for right-back ahead of Carvajal, whose return was celebrated in the Bernabeu with great fanfare, the standing ovation for Trent that the BBC reported. The Englishman's numbers were acceptable. 57 out of 64 passes, 89% accuracy, though weak in long balls, 0 out of 4. Carvajal outperformed him in both metrics despite playing less than half an hour. 20 out of 22 passes, which is a 91% success rate, and 2 out of 3 long balls. The duel is set and the captain enters the debate strongly. It's a very special day. I could feel all the fans' affection as soon as I started warming up. After many months, I can say I'm here. I'm feeling more comfortable. Xabi told me I'm at my best and I'm going for everything. So I'm happy, said the Leganes man in the mixed zone, speaking as the team's first captain. I experience competition as I always have throughout my career. When I've had the most competition is when I've performed the best. It's a great challenge that will make both of us better players, he said when asked directly about the challenge of reclaiming his starting spot. His next objective? I want to thank those who have always been here during these long 318 days. Now I'm back and I hope to offer good performances and titles, added the captain. And we've already gone over it. I'm just looking there. I've got my bullet notes. You've had them. You've had Dave's little bit of input there. So I'm not surprised, right, with how what they're reporting, the attitude towards him. I feel like Trent had already lost the battle before he even went to Real Madrid. I'll be honest with you, and I don't think it matters what side of the fence you're on, whether you think he's a rat or whether you think he deserves success. It doesn't matter, because when we were talking about all of this, when before it was, official, or before we had the confirmation that he was going there, I think most of us here knew that he was going to go there, right, or accepted that. The one thing that we constantly debated was, is he mad? This is Real Madrid, you know what I mean? Like, many of you will say it's a shit club. The fans or the boo their own players. At Anfield, Trent could make mistakes and be jogging back, and the fans would still support him. You don't get that at Real Madrid. They'll throw pigs' heads at you and stuff like that. And the Madrid-based media are brutal. I mean, brutal. You know, when we did them at Anfield, you will remember the press got into Mbappe for 2 or 3 days. They were terrible, terrible. And they're a bit like it now with Asensio as well. They spent all last season bigging him up, and now he's shit, you know? And the thing that, what I used to say before this move went ahead was, I think it's the wrong move for Trent. I didn't see him as a Real Madrid player. I didn't see him as a Galactico or a world superstar. A very good player, but I weren't sure it was going to be the right move for him. But you can't blame the lad for wanting to test himself, you know, or wanting to go there and say, hey, I played for Liverpool and I played for Real Madrid. But it's just the way that being up against Carvajal is probably the biggest issue for him, because I think that when it's a fan favourite, a club legend, you know, if Carvajal plays and he does well and then he's injured and he's out for a couple of games and he comes in and then he doesn't perform as well, it's going to be, he's never going to be Carvajal. How do you live up to that? How do you live up to that status of brilliance? That's the thing. And I didn't, you know, I was just going to say, I didn't even think about that too much when we were debating what would happen with Trent going there. We knew he was up against a great right back in Carvajal at Real Madrid. But I never knew how much the Real Madrid fans worship this guy. And you can see it in all the reporting so far. And in fairness to Trent, he's only had one La Liga game. It's his first game, debuting in La Liga, in front of the home fans. His arse is bound to have been squeaking a little bit, isn't it? You know, but they've already gone in hard on him. So, you know, give him 10 games, let's see how he is then. Give him half a season, you know, I don't know. I know some of you will be laughing and say, fuck him. But then there's people, you know, probably that will come up with what I'm saying and say, well, sure, he played one fucking game. But I'm surprised to see that article. I know that they weren't over the moon with him the other night. But if you're Trent and, you know, you're aware of this, and he's going to be, isn't he? It must put that player under even more pressure. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't like me already. And then the next time you're going out, you're like fucking more nervous. And if you remember him, was it not against Manchester United when it had come out that Real had bid for him in around the New Year? Do you remember? And we all said, well, they've only done that if he's up for it. And he looked a nervous wreck. He looked lost on the pitch. And I've always thought, even though, like Trent, in my opinion, over the years as a Liverpool player, I always thought he was humble, a nice lad and all that. And then recently, when the Real Madrid stuff started coming along, he started to think, hang on, he's talking more about personal achievements rather than team achievements, and started to sound a little bit, you know, arrogant maybe. You know, it was just like, fair enough. But is he really like that? You know, if you've got someone in your head like Bellingham, right, you know, you come to here, you're going to be a Galactico, you're going to live the dream, you're going to have your own brand. Did it all go into his head that he thought that? Maybe he still will. Maybe he'll show these Spanish friends of ours that they're wrong. I mean, Carvajal can't play forever, but is Trent going to get time to adapt? He's in a new country, a new league, a new team, a new system. And, you know, I just think he's got so much. I just feel like they're out for him. I feel like they're out for him. I really do. And like I say, the other article that's next to it, Huyson, immediate impact, you know. And the front page, I'm sure the front page is Huyson. Let me have a look. There you go. So yeah, that's it. Okay. So like I've tried to explain in this video at the beginning, this isn't about, you know, being awful to Trent. It's not what people that stumble on the channel or wherever they don't pay attention. You know, this is, yeah, okay. The title of the videos is just a bit of tongue in cheek, a bit of banter. If you can't have a laugh in life and you're a wet wipe over something like that, there's something seriously wrong with you. But the content of the videos is 100% authentic and genuine. And if you think that I've got it in for Trent, then you're clearly not paying attention, because I stick up for him as well. You know, like, he has only played one game in the league, but I just get the impression, guys, that they're going to go for him. That I just feel like he's made a mistake going there. What do you think? All right, I'll leave it with you. That's it. Let me know what you think, I guess. Let me know what you think. I know most of you don't care, but some of you will be laughing. But to me, I don't know. I think he's got a huge, huge mountain to climb. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the next La Liga game. I am. And, people, some of the numpties that leave comments on these videos, they don't get it at all. During the entire, last year, or however long it was that we were talking about Trent's future, look at my videos. All I kept saying was, I can't wait to see how he does in La Liga. I can't wait to see how it pans out. I'm really interested to see if this is the right career move for him. If he's going to go there and become like a Real Madrid legend, or is he going to be, back in the Premier League at Bournemouth or Aston Villa or somewhere, or, do you know what I mean? So I'm really, really interested to see how it goes for him. Anyway, let me know what you think. The majority of you that are here, you understand what these videos are about, and I know you like them as well. So if you've got, if you found the video informative, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment if you've got anything to say. Please don't say you're not interested in Trent. Why are you watching the fucking video then? And if you want to get me a beer or a coffee, there's a love out under the video. It's called a super thanks. I'm super and I deserve a thanks. And I always give a shout out to everyone that does that on my morning briefings. My morning briefings are on my other YouTube channel, the Duncan Oldham channel. The link's in the video description and it'll pop up on the screen as well. I haven't done my morning briefing yet, but I'll get on with it soon. All right, guys, nice one.